Shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. Want to give our praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakako Kadash. We're gonna name this the law, statutes, and commandments. It's not just for the elect, but all Israel. This is very important. I'll repeat it again. The law, statutes, and commandments is not just for the elect. It's for all Israel, and this is a very, very important thing, man. Because what you see is excuse for actions, right? And a lot of people have an excuse for actions because they in different camps and stuff like that, different groups, right? The Spirit's been on us to teach about this, man. You might say, well, why you been teaching about this lately, talking about this, man? I got damn near 1,000 videos on my channel. I didn't been through every topic that you could go through or touched on it pretty much. So I mean, just imagine how many hours and hours of work that is. So the spirit is just on this. So this is what we're going on. But this is important. You hear guys out there say, "Hey, look, you're not the elect. I don't think that you're the elect because the elect would be doing this or doing that." That's a famous thing to say. I don't think you the elect because the elect won't be acting like you. The elect to be doing this and doing that. The truth is, you don't know how the elect would be acting because you could have man that may wake up at the very, very, very last moment, which will mean that they are part of the elect. They may be wicked their whole life, and then at the very end, they may wake up at the last hour and they may become the elect. So if that's true, then you don't know how the elect to be acting, right? Now we know that there's things that pertain to the elect only, which is like, being the first fruits of the kingdom, the salvation, stuff like that, the spiritual power and stuff like that. And not necessarily because you could get spiritual power and you could still be put to death. I'll say it again. You could get spiritual power and still be put to death and still die, man. The apostles of old had spiritual power and they all were put to death, and they actually had spiritual power. King David had spiritual power. He wasn't put to death, but he did die. Even King Solomon has spiritual power and he died. Samson is a very famous, popular story about Samson, right? He had spiritual power. He not, and did he not die? He still died. You see, so these things, it's certain things that do pertain to the elect, but the law, statutes, commandments is not it. The law, statutes, commandments pertaineth to all Israel. Now, why do we say that? Why is it important? Because we know that in the kingdom, all Israel is going to be perfect and be under the law, statutes, commandments. Not just the elect and the 1/3 that make it, but the 2/3 going to be reborn back in the kingdom, and they going to have the laws. The laws is for them too. So this is important. You have no excuse for your actions. If you are in a group and I show brotherly love in my group, but I don't show brotherly love to people that's out in the world that's not really a part of my group, you are in sin. I'll say it again, you are in sin. You have to keep the law, statutes, commandments, right? And the law, statutes, commandments indicates to us that this is bigger than who we like. This is bigger than our personal just our personal beliefs and who we like and what group we're upon. It's bigger than that. See, a lot of brothers come in the truth, they join groups and they don't necessarily understand. um they don't understand when they get in a group. They think they group is the biggest thing in the world. They think they group is the most important thing. Is what's going on with inside a group. Nobody's saying that you can't have groups. Of course you can have groups and go into groups and stuff like that, as long as you remember there's something bigger than your group, which is all Israel in the whole. Because the law, statutes, commandments deal with all Israel in a whole. You can't be in a group, right, and then you show brotherly love and you handle things the correct way with patience, with mercy when it comes to people that you're group members with, but then with people on the outside of your group, you want to handle it with rigor. You want to handle it with strife. You want to handle it with hate. You don't want to handle. You're not as patient to handle situations because, oh, well, fuck, they not a part of our group. So fuck them. You know what I mean? You can't have that. Once you start to think like that and start to act like that, you are now going off. You can't think that you are better than a person, even if you do got ranks. But you're still not supposed to think that you're better than a person. Why? Because the law, statutes, commandments deal with all of us. That's where King David went wrong. Yeah, he was king of all Israel, but he still was going to get punished for his sins, for what he did. Why? Because the law, he was still under the law, statutes, commandments, even though he was king of all Israel. And the man that he got killed was an Israelite, and he was under the law, statutes, commandments. See, there was no respect of a persons there. He sinned, and he was going to get punished for it. Now, the Lord did have mercy on him, but the Lord can have mercy on any man for any sin, right? That came down to the Lord. It literally came down to the Lord to have mercy on him, right? But the law, statutes, commandments is for all Israel, and the law and what we see with King David, right, when he was going to get punished by the Lord, is that guess what? The law, statutes, commandments is more important than your group, more important than your rank, your title, your position. Whoever you are, the law, statutes, commandments is more important than that. So if you are in the group, you got rank and whatever stuff like that, that's cool. But you gotta remember that the law, statutes, and commandments come first, and that has to deal with all Israelites. And that was something that was always on my spirit. You know, it don't matter if a brother was in the truth or not. If we see a brother walking down the street and he may be a little mentally off, we still deal with him based off the law, statutes, commandments, what the law, statutes, commandments say. So let's read them. What do they say? This is on your screen. The 10 Commandments. It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." That's including man. You can't set up man as your gods, and that's the same thing as um idols. You know, you start having fan clubs and idol worshiping, and people look up to men and their leaders and stuff almost as if they're gods. You know, you got to fear them. It says, "Thou shalt not make into thee any graven images," right? It says, "Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain," right? That's another big one. That's another big no that a lot of men are guilty of. A lot of men that's in the truth, claim they in the truth, claim they got wisdom and knowledge. They are guilty of this, right? And is it just about taking his actual name? Is this talking about just saying Yahweh in vain? No, it's not. It's taking everything about the Lord. Don't take anything about the Lord in vain. His name, his deity, him, anything, right? And a lot of men are guilty about this, especially when they say something. Does this sound familiar? The Lord's gonna do this to you. The Lord's gonna kill you, niggas. The Lord's gonna do that. That's taking the Lord's name in vain because you don't know for a fact what the Lord is gonna do. Well, I'm just going based off the scriptures. If you're gonna go based off the scriptures, read the scripture out and say, look, this is Exodus 20. It says, look, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord and got thy God in vain. When you start putting this shit in your other word, talking about the Lord gonna kill you, the Lord gonna do something to you niggas, the Lord gonna do this, the Lord gonna do that, then you're taking the Lord's name in vain, man. And it's not just about his actual name, man. We gotta stop thinking small. You're taking the Lord's name in vain. I never say that, and if I have said it in the past, you know, I asked for forgiveness. I prayed on that, you know, because maybe I was, because I do know that I was under the spell too, just like all the rest of the brothers. But what you've been seeing lately is brothers starting to wake up and come from under that spell. Now I know, watch your fucking mouth. I'm not going to say what the Lord's going to do to you, what the Lord's not going to do to you, because I don't know. That'd be in vain, because if I say the Lord's going to destroy you in a week and you don't get destroyed in a week, I just did all that in vain. It says, "Remember thy Sabbath day to keep it holy." You got to keep the Sabbath day holy. We understand rehearsal of the righteous acts. We understand that it's a rehearsal until we get to the kingdom, which that's the same thing with all these laws. "Honor thy father and thy mother," you know. "Thou shalt not kill," you know. If you hate your brother, right, which we're gonna get that, we're gonna wait till we get to that, because we got to read it out of Exodus 20, which is gonna go over the same thing as this, so I might not even read it. But "Thou shalt not kill," you know, and this is important, man. You know, a lot of things that brothers do is leading up to stuff like that. I was seeing elders talk about making soft threats about killing and putting people in coffins, and if they wasn't under the law, they would have been got rid of people and stuff like that, man. So, but it's bigger. So you would say, okay, but they ain't actually go do the sin. They didn't actually go kill a person. But it's about your spirit. Your spirit was manifesting that. Your spirit was manifesting over that. It says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." I couldn't believe that this was going on in the truth. A lot of men committing adultery. That's crazy. You know, if the woman has a man, just leave her alone. There's so many fish out there. You know, but then again, I get it. You get man that came from out of the world, and it's hard to separate the world from the truth. You know, and you got a lot of men that didn't really never have women like that in their lives. You know, and just probably was a very very late bloomer, you know. So when they get in the truth, they thirsty over these women because now they got some type of power because they amongst a camp and they got a little rank. Now they want to use that to get women, and this was finally their chance. Me, I never been that way. It's never been that hard. Not saying I never committed adultery in my life. Of course, I was a playboy when I was young and stuff like that. But we came out of that sin. But now I look at it like, you know, well, I ain't really that thirsty. You know, she got a man, then shit. It don't matter how pretty she is. It's a lot of women out there. I mean, damn. You know, just be a little patient. You know, be a little patient. You get something sent to you. The Lord could send women to you. You know, and that's gonna happen. Isaiah 4:1. It says, "Thou should not steal." You know, um, this is just, you know, it's up and down. You know, it's simple. You don't steal. You know, you wouldn't like somebody steal from you, so don't steal. And this is laws that go for all Israel. So you can't say, look, all right, all my camp members or brothers that's in the truth, I ain't gonna steal from them, but I'm gonna steal from this nigga at work because he wicked. And I believe I'm off my perception that he's a 2/3. The Lord don't give no fuck about your whatever you think, your opinion. It don't fucking matter. If you believe he's a 2/3, guess what? None of that shit matters. All that matters is if the Lord deems him to be a 2/3 or not, or if the Lord deems him to be a 1/3, right? Your thoughts is not the Lord's thoughts, and all in the law, statutes, commandments. You still, two wrongs don't make a right. So you still supposed to follow the law, statutes, commandments, regardless if he is or not. Simple. It says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. This happens in the truth a lot. This is happening a lot. You know, a lot of brothers is guilty of this. Have I ever been guilty of this before? Probably. Yep. Because I was under that spell too, and I admit to that, right? But you know, you repent and you move past it, and you start to learn. You start to grow. You constantly always growing. But you're not supposed to bear false witness against thy neighbor, man. And that comes in a lot of different forms, and that people won't even really understand or know that they doing this. They think they not doing this, but they will be doing this, man. It says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. And that's just and it says more, so I'm gonna get it right here in Exodus 20, right? Um Verse 17, it says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, but it's more, it says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his, this Exodus 20 verse 17, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Pretty much any of his possessions, right? You're not supposed to envy those things. You know what I mean? Lust after his stuff, envy his stuff. You know, covet his stuff. You know what I mean? This happens a lot in the truth too. You know, brothers want to be other brothers. Brothers is running competition with other brothers. That competition could turn into covetousness real quick. You know, and I made a video talking about don't compete with each other. It's a very powerful video. I did like 50, damn near 50 minutes, 40 minutes on that video. You should check it out, right? It's edifying, right? So you're not supposed to do these things. But the key is you're not supposed to do these things with you see people, they want to keep laws when it comes to brothers that they respect or they think highly of, but you always got to remember the Lord thoughts is not your thoughts. Your opinion or your perception on something, or if a brother is holy, or if he's cool to be cool with, that shit don't mean nothing. The law, statutes, commandments come before that. You know, King David, his sin that he committed, you know, he obviously, you know, this is just my opinion. He had to think he was better than the dude. He had to think he knew he was more powerful than the guy that he put on the front lines to get killed in battle so he could take his wife. He obviously thought those things, but guess what? To the Lord, nope. You sinned, and he was gonna get punished for it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the law, statutes, commandments is bigger than you, man. It's bigger than you, because really the Lord is bigger than you. So it ain't off your perception of how the fuck your brain put things together and what your brain think. We have to stop thinking that way. We got to stop going off our own heart. You can't go off your own heart. Where I feel like you're not the elect. Well, why you saying I'm not? How you know I'm not the elect? Well, because the elect wouldn't be doing what you doing. That's based off what your brain put together in your opinion that means fucking absolutely nothing. You don't know who the elect is, man. The guy that you say I don't think you the elect, he could he could very easily have a temptation hour closer to the end times where he prove himself worthy and he may end up being the elect. The guy that stopped coming down to your camp for 5, 10 years, right? And you said, oh yeah, he's just a bug out. He back in the world. He ain't gonna make it. He ain't the elect. At the very end, he may get tempted by the Lord and he may have a test and he may pass that test and become one of the elect. And that's a fact. No matter how you like it, no matter how you feel, man. That's a fact. So guess what that means? I mean, we really don't know who the elect is. We just working as hard to make our election sure. That's it. Leviticus 19:17, which is great. It says, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. When you rebuke your neighbor, it's to get him out of that sin. It's not to shit on him. It's not to show hate towards them. So when you rebuke somebody, you're supposed to rebuke them in a way that's loving, not hateful. What do you see brothers doing? You see them rebuking brothers with hate, calling them names, putting definitions on them, talking about them like a dog. Hey dude, hey bro, hey you this, hey you this, hey you really this, man, hey you really that, and put names on them. That's you doing that shit out of hate. But let's read it again. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. That's coming from your heart. You doing that shit out of hate. It says, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So yes, you're supposed to rebuke your neighbor if you see them going off, but you're supposed to do it out of love. Me and Quana, we do this shit all the time, man. If we talk, if he see me going off, if I see him going off, it don't matter whichever way, vice versa. He gonna say something about it. That's a rebuke. He gonna say, hey, yeah, cuz I don't think that, no, hell no, that shit kind of wild what you doing, man. I don't think you should be doing that like that, man. And he may give me some advice, just step back. If I'm not seeing him, I'd be like, look, just chill back. Look at it from this way. Give it some time. Maybe some things might come to you. What the bam, same thing with me, with him. I'll give him a call. Hey, yeah, bro. We can't be. Yeah, we can't be doing that. We gotta do it this way. You know what I mean? That's a rebuke, but it's out of love. It ain't no hate. You ain't on the phone. Hey, you not the elect. You out. You not the elect, man. You not the elect, bro. You going out. How is that going to get anywhere? Verse 18, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudges against thy children of thy people. We all really guilty of this, but some more than other. They hold grudges. When you mad at a guy for something that happened years ago, and you still got it in your heart, and you still got this strong spirit about on it, you still holding a rebuke. Whether he was right, I'm sorry, a grudge. I just seen the word rebuke. You holding a grudge. Whether he was right or wrong in the situation, you still not supposed to hold any grudges. It says, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. Now, did it say thou shalt love thy camp member? Did it say thou shalt love thy YouTube partner? Did it say thou shalt love only the people that you know? Do it say that thou shalt love only the guys that you've been knowing for years? No, it don't say. It says thou shalt love thy neighbor. That's talking about all Israel, man. So you gotta love all Israel. You can't be out here, hey man, fuck them 2/3, man. The 2/3 gonna die. Yeah, we know that. And guess what? We can read Zechariah 13:7 to the 2/3. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you still gotta have love. We had a lady came up to us, and she was talking shit. She was talking shit about she not free. Did I hate that lady? No, I rebuked her. I was like, "What do you mean?" We were saying that we're not free, and she was saying that we are free. I was like, "What do you mean you free? Go do this, go do that. See what's gonna happen to you. You got to get permission to do this, permission to do that." We kind of got to talking strongly out there, But guess what? It was still love. I still looking at her like, "Hey, man, that's our sister, man." Still love, But hey, I wish that she had come out that spirit. But I never hated her in my heart. Never. Why would I? Just because she don't agree with me or have a different opinion, I hate her now. And a lot of shit gets started off that, right? Difference of opinion. Now I hate you. No, man. And this is why we're not powerful, and this is why we're not shit as a people. And this is why we can't come together. It says, as thy love thyself. Do you really love your neighbor as you love yourself? Or do you think of yourself as better, or you higher rank, or you bigger or better or more special than your neighbor? A lot of niggas is guilty of this, man. They don't love they neighbor as they love thyself. I love you a little bit, but not like myself. You know, it says, "I am the Lord. Ye should keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let the cattle." Okay, that's going into the cattle, but what did he say? He said, "Thou should keep my law, statutes, and commandments." Man, you got to keep them. This is talking about Israel. Even said, "Look, I am the Lord." Just to back it up, just so you really feel it. Not I am your leader, not I am your elder. You know, I am the Lord, man. Which he's both of those things at the same time too. This is Hebrews 8, verse 8. Finding fault with them, he said, "Behold, the days come, say the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." No, just with some camp. I'm gonna choose one camp out of all the camps running around the earth, right? Because there's many of them, right? I'm gonna make a new covenant with that camp. Simple shit. When you really break it down and think about it, it's like, damn, this shit is simple. It's common sense. Like you niggas don't know this. Why are you niggas acting like, you know? The covenant is with all Israel, man. And all Israel is going to be under the new covenant because all Israel is going to make it to the kingdom of heaven. But you know, we do got the first fruits. We got the 2/3 that have to die and be reborn in the kingdom. But the covenant is still for them too. They still gonna get the new covenant too, right? And it says, "Not according to my covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, say the Lord. For this is the new covenant that I will make with the house, the people of Israel. After those days, say the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me what? People," right? So it's about that. It says, "And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest." From the least to the greatest. And since we talking about spoke about King David, right? When King David had the chance to kill King Saul, right? King Saul was on a hunt for King David, right? And then King David, roughly paraphrasing the account, but King David stumbled across him, right? And he was pretty much asleep. King Saul laid out, passed out. King David could have killed him, right? But King David stayed righteous. He didn't kill him, you know, and he had a lot of respect for him. That's why he didn't kill him, because he still looked at him, even though because King David was the one that was playing the music, right, for King Saul. So he knew King Saul had demons on him. Just like you would say somebody's a bug out. When you say somebody's a bug out, you say they got demons on them, right? So King David knew that about King Saul. He knew King Saul was going off. He knew the Lord wasn't dealing with him, and the Lord was dealing with King David. Now King David was praying to the Lord, and King Saul was trying to kill him, and he came across of him. And a lot of you niggas, if y'all was in that situation, y'all would have killed King Saul and been justified in it, because you would have made up excuses in your mind. He wanted the 2/3. He bugged out. He got demons on him. And you would have took that and looked at him as being nothing, and you would have killed him. But King David didn't kill him. Even though he was bugged out, had demons on him, was going off, was wicked, trying to kill him, King David still didn't kill him, because he was a man of the Lord at the end of the day. At one point in time, King David knew that King Saul was a man of the Lord at one point in time. And because of that, he had respect for him. And that's how we supposed to have respect for Israel, period, man. I see niggas that be talking like, bro, we got respect for Israel, period. And we praying and hoping that they wake up to the truth. You got millions and millions and millions of Israelites that's gonna be saved, man. You got women that's not in the truth that could be saved. You know, you got harlots that's gonna be saved. You know, they may wake up closer to the end time. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, yeah, you're supposed to do things a little bit different in the truth than what you did in the streets, what you did at college, what you did at your job or work, or how the U.S. Army do things. None of that shit has anything compared to Israel, because when you're dealing with billions and billions of people, there's going to be Israelites in the kingdom. You can't set up what your camp set up, the order your camp set up, and say, look, this is the order, and this is how Israel going. You talking about billions of people? That is not going to be that way in the kingdom. You can't set that up with billions and billions of people. You know, so what it's going to be? It's going to be neighbors. That's why it says, thou should love thy neighbor. It's going to be like we neighbors. We all Israelites. Look, hey, look, you the king of your own shit. It says a nation of priests and kings. You the king, you the king, you the king, you a king, you a king. And that's how we look at it. And then we all could come together. And when we come together, we like our own entities, but we come together, and then we could set up ranks and orders and shit like that when we come together. But we don't look at ourselves as being better than anybody. It's a different from I'm ranked, right? You say there's ranked amongst the angels and stuff like that. There's difference from that, and it's a difference from I'm better than you. You know, so, but exclusively when it comes to the law, statutes, commandments. When it comes to the law, statutes, commandments, none of us are better than anybody. We all have to follow them. And anybody could be judged for not following law, statutes, commandments, whether they with you or you like them or not, or respect them or not. So with that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.